Why can people just stop loving, just like that? Yesterday they were still sharing tenderness and intimacy, but today they turn and walk away like two strangers with no connection, without a trace of reluctance. This sounds heartbreaking, but from a psychological perspective, none of this actually happens without warning signs. Before we begin, let me clarify one thing. The sudden loss of love we're discussing is based on relationships where both parties once truly loved each other. Those relationships that began with deception or exploitation are not within the scope of today's analysis. If a relationship was once genuine, why does it become so decisive? After all, people aren't plants. They have emotions and attachments. True feelings are like a gently flowing stream that never stops abruptly without reason. So, those seemingly sudden acts of falling out of love have likely been quietly fermenting in the heart for a long time, just never revealed. When someone says, "I don't love you anymore," it's often not a spur-of-the-moment decision, but the result of long-term emotional exhaustion and psychological struggle. The reason for leaving appears to be feelings have changed, but in essence, it's a deep-seated instinct for seeking benefit and avoiding harm at work. This is a psychological mechanism humans possess from birth, instinctively avoiding risk and gravitating towards safety and comfort. To make life easier and more comfortable, people will subconsciously distance themselves from relationships that repeatedly disappoint, exhaust, or cause pain. This doesn't mean they never cared. It's just that when the heart is repeatedly hurt, it will eventually choose to let go at some breaking point. You might wonder, if they were already uncertain, why didn't they say so earlier? Why did they still act like nothing was wrong? Actually, during this process, one party often experiences intense psychological conflict. Staying in the relationship means continuously experiencing disappointment and anguish, but truly leaving also brings tearing pain and reluctance. This state is called approach-approach conflict in psychology. Two options, one unbearable, the other hard to give up. So they can only waver back and forth, weighing repeatedly, appearing calm on the surface while churning inside. Some people struggle for a long time before deciding to leave, while others may not have been that invested from the beginning, making it easier to pull away decisively. There's also another scenario, encountering a new romantic interest who brings long-lost excitement or hope, making the original relationship feel even heavier, even becoming an obstacle. In psychology, this is avoidance-avoidance conflict. Both sides have pain points, but there's a tendency to drop the current burden and turn toward fresh hope. This is why some people leave so decisively, offering no explanation and never looking back. This also reminds us, don't try to sustain a relationship through being moved or touched. What you gain through effort and sacrifice is only temporary gratitude, not necessarily genuine love. You can create countless surprises and give everything for someone, perhaps even moving them in certain moments, but this connection built on being touched is ultimately not a solid emotional foundation. The end of a relationship never begins from the moment when "let's break up" is officially said, but starts the instant someone thinks, "I want to leave" in their heart. That's when it quietly begins. This is a silent avalanche. While you're still immersed in memories and fantasies, that person's footsteps have already quietly walked away. You thought you'd walk into the future together, but the reality is that someone will stop at a certain moment and no longer accompany you forward. I hope you can wake up from these experiences. Stop trying desperately to hold on. Stop trying so hard to please, and instead learn to hold on to yourself. Because some relationships can't continue, not because anyone is bad, but because the psychological forces have quietly changed direction.